Alright guys, so if you have finished the very first video, lesson number 1, now you can actually start to implement the first strategy that we will be going over. So let's get right to it. So strategy number 1 is just basically going to be a very simple, basic Renko strategy, super user friendly, so let's get right to it. Now, first we need a couple of tools to be able to, one, be alerted when brick flips happen, and two, be able to filter out bricks that we don't want to be in. So for starters, what we're going to do is step number 1, we are going to click indicators, and then we are going to type Renko reversal alert. And it's by Fritz Haber. Why we do this indicator is because we want to be notified when it goes from one color to another color, one color to another color. We want to be notified about when these occurrences actually happen in the market. One, why? So we don't have to, be staring at the market, waiting for a brick flip. We want to be only notified when it actually happens, right? So we can take that trade. So it's very simple how to set up alert. Let's say, for example, you are waiting for a sell brick to happen. Really simple. You're going to hover over. Once you have added that to your chart, it's going to be appearing right here. Then if you want to wait for a sell opportunity, all you have to do is click more, click add alert, and then you are going to go for a short opportunity. And then you want to go to notifications, notify in app. It is useful to have the TradingView app on your phone, so if you're on the go, you can be notified about when this occurrence happens. Show pop-up, check mark, send an email if you really want it to obviously happen. You can get that as well. These are just my settings. Short opportunity, you can even add it. Sell gold, right? Message Renko reversal happened, right? And then you just simply press create, and then you go to your alerts tab, and then it is right here and it is active. After you have confirmed that it is active, you don't have to look at the chart. You don't have to go on the chart, wait. Trust me, when it happens, it will notify you. Just make sure that you have obviously the correct notifications so it has permission to notify you when it does happen. But for this strategy purpose, we are going to also only going to be trading. So let me just hide this with the eye icon. We're only going to be trading with the trend direction, right? So let's go ahead and click super trend. So how this strategy works is we want to be taking every flip that happens when we are in a sell, and we want to be taking every buy that happens in the buy. I won't go too deep into super trend. My settings are normal. I have not defaulted it. All I've done to make it look like this, a little bit more vibrant. First, go to indicators, type super trend. It is going to be this one. Go ahead and start because it's going to be your best friend. Add it to your favorite list. And then it's going to appear right here. All I did to make it look a little bit more appealing to the eye is I made it green, and then I thickened the line a little bit so it's a little bit easier to see, especially if you're on mobile. And then I did the exact same thing. I made it red for sell, and then I did a number 2 line, and then I left this the same at 10% opacity, and then I just press OK, and your then indicator should look exactly like mine. So if you're already kind of seeing how this helps us is, for example, look at these buys, right? We don't want to be taking these buys when we're in an overall sell cloud. I'll call this a cloud. It's not the Ichimoku cloud. It's just a cloud, just a name that I named it. We want to be taking buys when we are in a buy cloud, and we want to be taking sells when we are in a sell cloud, right? So this is basically filtering bricks that we don't want to be taking. And if you aren't part of the Discord, feel free to hop in on the Discord. I will add a link in the description. And then, yeah, so let's get right to the strategy. So for starters, we need the indicator to tell us when a buy actually happens. So let's say, for example's sakes, these bricks didn't exist, but we were in a buy cloud. We are simply just going to do more, add alert, and then you would have done long opportunity, press create, add your messages. And then when a buy actually occurred, you would have been notified. You would have been in this trade at June 25th at 17 o'clock. So let's just, for example's sake, let's just see how this played out, right? So your entry is always going to be at 19, or the top of the brick, up to all the way at the bottom of this brick is where your stop loss is going to be. So my stop loss is going to be a distance of, let me just make this a flat 1926 for, just go to coordinates, just so it's nice and clean for you guys. 1926, and bam. And then your stop loss would be 60 pips from the entry. Now you're able to enter once this brick has closed and you were notified about it. Once it enters, this is the highest price for a buy, and I'll show you a sell example, of course. You're able to enter anywhere from this line all the way to this line. So any price between this line and your stop loss, you're able to enter. But you don't want to be entering at a price, for example, buys. You don't want to be entering at any price above the top of the buy brick, and then I'll show you a sell example. So once again, you want to be entering anywhere from 1926 to 1920. But let's just see how this trade actually played out. June 25th, 17 o'clock. Let's just go to that candle. I'm just going to remove that to make it look nice and pretty. And where are we? Right here. Okay, perfect. So right here is what closed that buy brick. And then let's say if you entered at 1926, you would have been easily able to capture 70 pips, no problem, right? And then if you were patient and you wanted to let the market, let's say you wanted to kind of get a drawdown entry. What a drawdown entry is anywhere for a buy example, and I'll show you a sell example, anywhere that is below the absolute price, right? So entering, let's say, a random price, okay? Entering here, right? So let's just make the blue line your entry. Let's say that you waited, you know, the break closed into a buy. You waited, you wanted a better price, right? Because any price from here to here is a better price than here. Now, I'm not saying that entering at the top price of a buy break is a bad price. I'm not saying that. You're just going to be able to capitalize more profit if you can get any price between here and here. For example, this blue line. So on the candle, let's say that you entered at 1924. Why is it okay to be able to enter in at a quote unquote better price? Is because this buy brick is still valid as a buy until it flips to a sell. If it didn't go from yellow brick to a black brick, as long as it's just this brick, you're able to enter anywhere, once again, from here to here. So let's say you entered at 1923, then you would have been able to capture more pips, 90 pips. So it's almost best to wait for price to kind of get away from the entry to be able to capitalize one on your gain, give you a sharper risk to reward, and obviously it's just a better entry. But once again, it's not a bad entry if you're entering at the top of a buy brick for a buy continuation. Now, that's pretty much it. You want to set a 60 pip stop loss, and then if let's say you wanted to do 60 pips for 60 pips, let's just show you what that looks like for a long position. Your 60 is right there, your 60 is right here, and it would have hit your TP, right? Or if you had a better price of here, you always want to be shooting for a 1-to-1. So if your stop loss is, obviously it's always going to be 60 from the close price. Close price is 1926 minus 60 pips would be 1920. Then you could have done 40 pips, and then let's say you wanted to shoot for a 2-to-1. Your 2-to-1 would have been an 80. And then obviously price, let's even say that you entered right here. Price would have gave you a small drawdown of about, that's probably like 20 pips. And then your TP would have been smashed. And then that's pretty much it. That is the strategy. And once you hit TP, that's pretty much it. So whenever, like I said, whenever we get flips in a buy position, in a buy cloud, you want to take it at the very top of the brick, stop loss 60 pips from the close price. Entry was here, just minus 60. It's going to put you at the bottom, and that's pretty much it. Now, why I use the super trend, it's basically a filter that filters out bad trades. So imagine if you weren't using the super trend and you took a buy because it went from a sell to a buy here, right? We didn't get any new bricks. We didn't get any new bricks that closed, and then it went from a buy to a sell, and then it started to sell off. This would have been a losing position, and it happened 3 times. And that's exactly why we use the super trend, is to be able to kind of filter out quote unquote bad trades. So for example, here, this sell, it was in a buy cloud. It went from buy to a sell, and it only closed 1 brick. Yes, it did make profit, but we don't want to be counter trading. We always want to be trading with the trend of the super trend. So for example, this brick closed 1 profit, right? See, for example, here we are in a buy cloud. These sells didn't make any new profit, so these all would have been losers, but because we are using the super trend cloud, we are able to filter out trades like this and not take those, and obviously only take, the buys. So on and so forth. Basically just filters. That's really all the super trend does. And that's just how we will be using that. And that's now I will show you a sell example. Let's see. Okay, let's go here. I'll just choose a random one. Let's just use this one. Okay, so we are now in a sell cloud. We went from a buy to a sell. This brick closed at 5 o'clock, and then this one's at 6 o'clock. So that tells me that this one only closed at 5. It only closed 1 brick. So let's just go to there, and that's how we're going to set it up. Let's set up a sell example. So we have our green line here. Remember, we are always 60 pips from the close price. So the close price for a sell is going to be at the very bottom of the brick that closed, which is going to be at 19.4. I'm just going to make this coordinate a flat 19.47 because that's the actual price of the bottom of the brick. That's the close price, 19.47. You can see the line is at the very bottom, so that is the closing price, or the quote-unquote entry price. And then remember, we have a rule that we're able to go up to 60. Up to 60. So remember, for a sell example, we are eligible to be able to trade anywhere from here to here. So let's see how this trade played out. We are going to go to June 20th at 5 o'clock. And that's going to be June 20th at 5 o'clock. So here we are. So since this is a perfect example, and this is exactly what I wanted to show, when we get a close price that doesn't come back to obviously our line, this candle closed like this. We can tell that price never came back to the green line. So if it does something like this, you don't want to be taking that trade. Now, obviously, I don't suggest it, but let's say theoretically, if you did take it because it closed a sell brick and the sell cloud, let's say you entered here, and then this is the close price. So let's just say your entry is the blue line. And then you did a 60 pips from here. Even if you did 60 pips from your entry, you still would have been fine. It would have went right into profit, and it smashed you an easy 150 pips, right? Just going back here. Now, it closed your 60 pips, obviously, but now I'm going to show you how you can absolutely capitalize on just milking pairs. And that's just basically closing when a opposite direction happens. So how you can set that up, I'm just going to leave that here for the close price. And then let's say, I'm going to delete this arrow. Let's say that you're in at this blue line, right? You entered at the blue line. Once again, I like to only enter in at the right price, but let's say for some reason you have whatever is going on and you wanted to just enter the market because you felt it was valid, because it is valid. It's in a sell. It's the sell flip that happened in a sell cloud. You're going to take profit when a buy brick appears. So you would have been holding the trade, and this is exactly why I like trading Renko, is because let's just see what price action looked like from where you entered all the way to where you would exit, which is like right about here, but let's just say here. All right, and let's go to the candle chart. All right, once again, here's your entry. Obviously, right after that sell brick appeared, all of that profit was there, and you would have closed when a buy brick happened. So I mean, at least a bare minimum, if you would have done that, you would have at least still captured 60 pips, 70 pips at best. And that's pretty much it. So let's say that you're in this sell, and let's say that you didn't want to obviously look at the chart. What do? We go to our best friend tool, the Renko reversal alert. So you're in a sell and you want to know when to close the trade when a buy brick appears. Because when you're in a sell, you want to get out when a buy brick appears. So what would you do? You would go to Renko reversal alert. You would go to the semicolons, add alert. Obviously, you're going to want to know when a long opportunity happens. And you just simply press create. Now that you're in this position, you would hold it, and keep holding it until it closes a buy brick. You would have been notified with your TradingView app. You could have even said, message, take profit, buy brick appeared. Right, buy brick appeared. You would have not have to look at the chart at all, and that's what I love about Renko, is that you don't have to get on the chart and stare at the screen. Oh my gosh, is this happening? Is this happening? All you would have to done is just basically set an opposite alert, and then when that alert happens, close the trade, and that's it. You're done. Pretty simple, right? And that's basically the sense of this strategy. I'll go over it one more time, just really quick. If you think you got it, you can end the video, and I'll see you in the next lesson. But for the people that just wanted to go over it once more again, here it is. For a buy example, we wait for a sell to happen to a buy in a buy cloud, and then we would have got our close price, which would have been right here. And then we would have done 60 pips from this price, which would be right here because each brick is 30 pips. So all you would have to do is just drag it 60, which is exactly 2 bricks. Your stop loss is there, and then you're able to enter anywhere from here to here. Even if it's 10 pips away from the stop loss, it's still valid until it closes a buy. See, for example, like this. It's kind of drawing down below the close price. This trade is still valid, but obviously I showed you in the example that this buy brick already hit TP. Once it already hits TP, leave it at that and wait for the next buy to happen. And that's going to be for a buy example. Moving on to a sell example. We wait for a sell to occur, a sell flip. This is a sell flip, buy to a sell flip, and we have our entry close price here. Our stop loss, 2 bricks, 30, 30, 60 pips in total, and we are able to enter anywhere from here to here. It does not matter. It can be here, 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 5 pips away, as long as it's from here to here. And then what you do is you either set a TP of 60 pips, or you do the method that I showed you, and I'll show you it again. Let's say that you're in this sell. You don't want to look at the chart. You want to maximize your profit. Once again, all you got to do is just call in add alert. You want to know when a long opportunity happens to get out of your sell position to close profit. Simple as that. So for example, let's say that I was in this buy position. Let's say theoretically that this position only happened and it only did 30 pips. Let's say that I know it already smashed our TP of 60 pips, but for example's sakes, let's say that it didn't. Let's say that it only has made 30 pips. You would go Renko reversal alert, and you would go add alert, and then you want to know when a short opportunity happens to be able to close that trade in profit. So you would just always do the opposite side. Your TP alert is always going to be on the opposite side of whatever you're in. So if you're in a buy position, you want to set an alert for a short opportunity. And if you're in a sell opportunity, you want to set an alert for a buy opportunity, right? And that's just basically going to tell you, hey, get out of the market. It's a possibility that it could reverse. And that's that. And that's pretty much it, guys. Don't want to get too much into it. It's literally as simple as that. And that is my, I guess I could say, strategy number 1. If you go to my Discord, I have three strategies in total that are Renko based, that work on every single pair. My strategies don't only work on one instrument. For example, let's just go to US CAD. Don't want to make the video too long because I like to make my videos nice and short and sweet to the point. But I want to show you for buys. You see what I mean? Here's how our super trend is filtering out. It filters out all of these buys, and every single time we went from buy to sell, there's your profit. Buy to sell, there's your profit. And it's that simple. Now, I do want to say this. TP is always going to be 2 times the brick size. So you know how we were on gold, and gold's brick size, if you look at the previous video, gold's brick size was 30, so our TP was 60 pips. Our US dollar or non-yen pairs and yen pairs, TP will be then 50 pips. Or if you want to play it safe, just TP at 1 brick profit, 25 pips. Right? And that's pretty much it. It's very, very good. See, these buys did not play out because we were in a sell. But look, every single sell that happened did make our TP of either 1 brick or our TP of multiple bricks. Let's see. Okay, let's look at this sell example. I'll end the video at that. This sell happened at 20 o'clock. And then let's say you wanted to maximize your profit. You wouldn't have gone out of the market until this brick happened. How much profit that would have been? An easy 250 pips. Easy 250 pips. Amazing. And it's that simple, guys. There's no other difficulties to it. It's step 1, step 2, step 3. But that's it, guys. If you have any questions, of course, just ask away in the comment section, or just go to my Discord and talk to me personally. I'd love to communicate with you. And if you need one-on-ones, I do one-on-ones whenever you need it. I'm here. And if you have any questions, YouTube me, or just at me in Discord, and I'd love to speak with you. And I will see you on to lesson number 3, strategy number 2. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, and take care.